A fourth grade dropout. 3 failed businesses. No money, no degree. And a family that had stopped believing in him. On paper, that's a man who should have quit. Instead, he built one of the biggest chocolate companies on earth. His name is Milton Hershey. And this is the journey we still look back to generations later. Because his life teaches one lesson better than any classroom could. Experience beats education. Every time. And nothing is really an obstacle if you're willing to take the bitter with the sweet chocolate. Because to understand how a poorly educated candy maker built one of America's greatest food empires today, it's worth more than $37 billion. You have to go back to a small candy shop in Philadelphia. An 18-year-old boy was about to fail for the first time.
Milton Snavely Hershey was born in 1857 near Derry Church, Pennsylvania. His family moved frequently. His education was interrupted. He completed only the 4th grade. At 14, his mother arranged an apprenticeship with a candy maker in Lancaster. For 4 years, Milton learned how sugar behaved under heat. At 18, he decided he was ready to build a business of his own. But he was not ready. Milton borrowed money from his mother's family and opened his first candy shop in Philadelphia. The shop failed. So he tried again, this time in Chicago, then again in New York. Each attempt ended the same way. By 29, Milton Hershey had experienced 3 failed businesses. Milton Hershey went home to try one more time. Milton returned to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, 1886, with almost nothing. But he had learned one valuable technique. Fresh milk could transform caramel. So Hershey took that process and built a small operation around it. The business expanded from a small local operation into an industrial company with customers across the country and overseas. Within a few years, the Lancaster Caramel Company employed hundreds of workers. In 1893, Hershey visited the World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago. Inside the German exhibition, he saw machinery designed to process chocolate on an industrial scale. He purchased the machinery and had it shipped back to Lancaster. Then he began experimenting. Some batches separated, some burned, some tasted bitter. But Hershey kept testing. And he was prepared to risk the fortune he had already earned to make it happen. In 1900, Milton Hershey sold the Lancaster Caramel Company for $1 million. It also meant abandoning the business that had finally made him successful. So he moved to a rural stretch of Pennsylvania and began building something much bigger than a factory. In 1903, construction began on a new chocolate factory. By 1905, the plant was operating. Most industrialists built factories and left their workers to fend for themselves. Hershey did the opposite. No slums crammed against factory walls. A real town. Homes, schools, parks, trolley cars, tree-lined streets. Not charity, architecture. The factory needed the workers. The workers needed the town. The town needed the chocolate. Remove one piece and the whole thing collapses. In 1909, Milton and Catherine Hershey established a school and home for orphaned boys. The school's future changed after Catherine died in 1915. In 1918, he transferred his wealth into the school he and Catherine had created. A business becomes an inheritance for people Milton Hershey would never meet. In the winter of 1911, Milton and Catherine were traveling in Europe, wintering on the French Riviera for Catherine's health. Milton had booked passage home for the spring for both of them on the maiden voyage of the RMS Titanic. But business back in Pennsylvania needed his attention sooner. He cancelled the booking and sailed home early on a German liner instead, arriving in New York days before the Titanic ever left port. Catherine stayed behind in Europe a while longer, in the care of friends.
Milton Hershey failed 3 times. Then he built a company so successful, he walked away from it to bet on something riskier. When the money finally came, he didn't keep it. He built a town, he built a school, and he placed his fortune where it would outlive him. Almost none of it should exist. A cancelled ticket, a change of plans. Stay on the Titanic and none of this happens. That's why this bar is more than chocolate. It's failure, risk, and one radical decision about what wealth is for. I'll see you on the trail. Do subscribe and like our channel.
Food is never just food.